everyone, and welcome to the Music is Our Hero podcast, hosted by Grammy Award winner Drea Young. This is the spot where we celebrate creativity, share stories, and lift each other up in the arts. Each episode will dive into conversations that inspire, empower, and spark new ideas, because art isn't just about what we make, it's about the community we build together. So grab a seat, get comfy, and let's grow in creativity side by side. The Music is Our Hero podcast, where creativity, community, and inspiration come to life.
Okay, so how do we start?
That's how we're going to start, actually.
That's how we're going to
I'm
start.
sitting here with the legendary Trip Boyd at Cosmic Cafe. That's what this is called, right?
Yes, this.
Yeah, here
Cosmic Cafe.
in Philly. Quite the commute. The commute from hell, actually. But yeah, I'm sitting here. He has an open mic here. It's a seasonal open mic on Fridays. Starts in about a half hour. So we are going to get to it. Let's just first start, you know, who you are. And you know what? I do want to mention one thing. Are you okay with letting everybody know your age?
Yes.
Yes. And how old are you now?
I turned 70 years old on Super Bowl Sunday, and the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl for my birthday.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So he's 70 years old, and so I'm so excited to talk to him. He has been here for 7 decades. That is insane. That's almost 100 years. So there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn from Trip Boyd, I am sure. So anyways, yeah, just give us a little bit to start with who you are.
Okay, let's start with the legendary part. It's legendary. So, good gosh, where do I start?
I mean, you can start when,
in
1902.
Let me, it's funny. Let me first say, the first band that I ever played in was some friends of mine in high school, and they used to practice in their garage, and several of us would go over, hang out, and watch them
And
practice.
when was this? Back in what year?
Back in the 70s, early 70s.
Early 70s,
and,
okay.
And they, one day, the bass player in that band played it was a cheap guitar with 4 strings tuned down to bass, and you couldn't even ever really hear him. And the guitar player got really sick of that. And one day he came up to me, he goes, "Hey, you like coming over here and watching us, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Tell you what, if you buy a bass, we'll let you play in our band." So I literally joined a band before I could ever even play an instrument. And he just showed me how to play bar chords. He said, "Follow this finger right here," and I did, and that's how I got my start in music.
Okay.
And I've literally done everything in music. I started out, I didn't really go far in that band. That was like kind of high school stuff. And then later on, I had a friend of mine who played in a band. They needed a place to rehearse. So evidently, I was drunk one night and told them they could rehearse at my place. I really don't remember them saying that. So I don't remember if it was even true or not, whether he said they could, but I did.
Yeah.
So,
I know about those people. They take advantage of you when you're drunk.
So
they'll make some things up. You said this.
So I started helping him out as a roadie, and then the next thing you know, I'm booking bands for him, and I'm running lights for him, and pretty much doing everything but playing.
So this was like, are we in the late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah.
So what was it, like tape, lights? Yeah, it was completely different technology then, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so what was that like?
Oh, we had, and we used flash pods too. We had full production. And
Flash pods, what's that?
Yeah, boom, you hit the button and they blow up. Light and fire shoots up into the sky.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
That's the best way. Yeah, we were, back in the 70s, we were all about, rock bands, the rock.
And it was also, I feel like, too, back then, it was like a lot of creativity. Like now with computers and all that stuff, you had to use your, like even for recording. Like if you're recording, you had to, let's say you had 4 tracks, and then you would have to bounce them down. You didn't have this unlimited thing, but okay.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And so from there, I eventually did start playing bass again.
Okay.
And I reconnected with my old guitar player from that band that I said could practice at my house. His name is Rex Rogers. I have to give a shout out to Rex. And as a matter of fact, Rex and I just played a gig together in North Carolina for the first time in 37 years, I think we figured out.
That's amazing.
But we just got together back in Greensboro, North Carolina. over Labor Day. One of my close buddies in North Carolina, who's a DJ at a radio station down there, who plays our songs all the time. He had a big birthday party, and so we played the event. And
That's cool.
so that was really interesting because he lives in Florida, I live in Philly, and the keyboard player and drummer live in North Carolina. So we literally had 2 rehearsals to go out and play a 10-song set.
Wow.
But
did you guys kill it?
We pulled it off. We had a little glitch with one song. We had to kind of improvise with it. And but yeah, for the most part, we did pull it off, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so. How did I get here at the Cosmic Cafe? Now that's the real good question.
I mean, it's the whole story.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I guess it all started with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I ended up retiring. I just turned 65 right before the pandemic, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm retired now. What do I do? So my friend Patty McMahon and I, who incidentally has a birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Patty.
Yes, happy birthday, Patty. And
today, when this comes out.
Of course, yeah, I know.
We'll be belated.
Next
Happy
year.
belated birthday, Patty.
Be very happy belated. And so we started writing some songs together, and so that once, the world kind of got back to normal, we started playing out a little bit. We did some open mics, and then I started doing some open mics. And that was kind of my new thing. I don't work anymore. I go out a couple of nights a week, and I go to open mics. And we
what a nice retired life.
I know we did,
Amazing.
and I think I inspired Alan Mary. Shout out to Alan, who's a friend of ours.
Shout out to Alan. Yeah,
he's sitting over there drinking a beer right now. And that was my new thing. That was my new social life: going out and playing open mics, meeting a lot of great, talented people. And
Philly's full of them.
So one thing led to another. So Patty and I, we did a bunch of Ports Fest. We did open mics. We played a couple of gigs. And along the way, I met a girl named Michelle Pauls, who she's actually over there attending bar right now. And she also books the entertainment
Shout
here.
out to Michelle in the bar.
And she also, she books the entertainment here on the weekends. Cosmic Cafe also has entertainment here on Saturdays and Sundays. And so Michelle called me in one day. There was a band canceled last minute, and I came in and played that afternoon. And as I was leaving, the owner of the Cosmic Cafe came up and said, "Do you want to host open mic next year?" I'm like, yeah. Which is funny. I mean, I keep telling everybody this is my dream job, but it's something I never planned.
Right.
And it's been one of the best things that's happened to me. I love coming here every Friday night. Now, obviously, we're outdoors, so we're only here for 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And weather permitting. But this year has really been fantastic. I mean, it's really picked up. I don't know where people are coming. They're coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
I quit posting.
Well, that's what it takes time to grow things,
Yeah. I mean, I even quit posting on Facebook and Instagram
Yeah, it just happens.
we're getting so many people.
That's great.
And so, as a matter of fact, last Saturday, we just had an event here. We had the Open Mic All-Stars, which we picked about 6-7 people who come here on a regular basis. And we had like a 3-4 hour performance.
Yeah.
And speaking of Michelle, I also somehow ended up in a band with her.
Oh, okay.
And we're called Don't Fall In. And we performed here last week. And I'd give a shout out for our next gig, but that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But
when is it?
It's next Wednesday at Ray's Happy Birthday
it'll
Bar.
only work if this comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Yeah,
if I can get my act together.
We're the featured act at
cool.
that open mic. But and we also, Michelle and I just finished. Well, I don't know if we're finished yet, but we're in the studio recording some songs at Third Story Recording. While I'm giving shout outs, let me give a shout out to
shout out.
This
podcast is going to be called Shout Out.
Yeah.
Shout out with Trip Boyd.
Shout outs by Trip. So shout out to Scott Herzog at Third Story Recording, which Third Story Recording is the longest tenured recording studio in Philadelphia. Part of that is because of a lot of studios have gone out of business.
Yeah.
And Scott is just still there
Yeah.
and still loves doing it. And so we were there last night doing some work on the recording. So yeah, my life, all the, I think.
Well, let's dive into so we left off at the late 70s and then we went into 2025.
Okay.
So, which is great. Did you do music for a living through your life, or did you do other things? Like, what did you do before you were retired?
There were times when I was able to do this full time.
Cool.
Never made a lot of money off of it. And basically, I was always fortunate enough to have some really flexible odd jobs. Working in delis, working in restaurants. I had a lot of disposable jobs.
Right.
I just needed to pay the rent. That's all I needed to do.
Yeah.
And, I think as a result of that, I learned how to live very cheaply.
Yeah.
Which is important if you're a musician and you're not paying the bills with your music yet. It's
Right.
Learn to live within your means. That's my advice for all you young, struggling, broke musicians.
Yeah.
So what did I do? Good gosh. So I lived in Washington, D.C. in the early 80s, played in a band there for a while. Believe it or not, they're still together after all these years.
I love that. All you guys are rocking.
You know what?
I love
They were all professionals. A couple of them were lawyers. And so they're all kind of retired now.
Oh, well, that's always fantastic when you're a lawyer. That's like the were you at the Monday night meetup at the fire when the Philly Fest guy was there?
Right,
Philly
right.
Music Fest?
Yes.
And him and they're like accountants or lawyers or something.
Yeah.
And it's super cool because they do this awesome fest that now is a week that exposes all these venues in Philly, and they don't even care if they don't make a dime. They pay their headliner and they pay whoever, and they give everything else to charity. So if you have that skill where you can make 6 digits and be an artist, that's fantastic.
Yep.
They're not even an artist though. Like, they don't even care about that. They're just, I love what they're doing.
Yeah. No.
Shout
really.
out to Philly Music Fest while we're here. I think his name was Craig Seltzer. Yeah. Anyways,
But the 80s was an interesting decade.
I hear it was the best decade
From
many. Well, actually, people a little bit younger than you, so you might think a different.
There was a lot of stuff going on. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how family friendly this show is,
You
but
could just say, give us some
well,
juice. And if it's not good, I can.
let's just say I don't. Which movie is it with Johnny Depp, who was a big drug dealer?
Blow. No. I'm not good with names.
Yeah, no, it was another one. Well, I don't think it was Blow, but yeah, all those movies were true.
Right.
And,
That's what I hear. It was 1980, and then all of a sudden, the next day, you woke up and it was 1990.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? The 90s
Sounds like my kind of
The 90s
decade.
might have been even worse.
Actually, I was in the 90s, and I'm going to tell you, I think, I was in that movie.
I
was in the sequel.
At one point a while back, I reconnected with an old guitar player I played with in bands in the 90s. And he was always telling stories. And he would finish them all with like, you remember Trip? You were there. And I'm like, no, I don't. But hey, things are different today. We don't live like that anymore.
Well, we don't, but who knows?
What else did I
Be
do?
safe out there, kids.
So I played in Washington, D.C. with this band for a couple of years, moved back to North Carolina for a few years, reconnected with Rex again with our band Red Apple Red, and we played there. Then we relocated to Florida for a few years. And long story short, in 1988,
So when I moved to PA from California.
Going to have to move again when I was in Florida. I wasn't working. It was just one of those times in my life where out of the blue, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who had just moved to Philadelphia. And he said, hey, you should move up here. And I'm like, well, you know what? I got to move in 2 weeks anyway. Let's try Philadelphia. I had no idea if I was going to stay here a week, a month, a year, or a couple of years, or I didn't even know. And so here I am 37 years later.
Still here.
And
wow.
I'm still in Philly. And, I've enjoyed my time here. Philly just turned out to be the perfect place for me to live. I don't know. I totally identify with Philly. I'm a big sports fan, so I like I'm a fan of all the sports teams. The music scene here has always been great.
Yeah.
And
through all these travels, did you ever have any relationships or anything like that? Do you have kids or anything?
Yes, I have a daughter and I have 4 grandkids.
Okay.
I have a granddaughter who's going to graduate college next year.
Oh, wow.
And I have another grandson who's going to graduate high school. I have an older grandson who's at George Mason. And then we have the 13-year-old.
So you just had the one. So you only had one kid.
Yeah, one daughter, 4
so you
grandkids.
Had one, okay.
So yeah. So
I was just curious.
That's the family.
It sounds like you were like all over and just going.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. But no. So here I am in Philadelphia, again, getting back to, I think there have been so many projects that I've tried to make happen, and I've struggled with them, and I've always ended up disappointed. And which, looking back in music, it's really hard to get like 4 artistic people with 4 different artistic visions of what should happen, and try to get them to agree on something.
Agree, and also schedules.
That's true too.
That was always.
And I think what I love doing best right now is not being in charge of anything. The thing I especially love right now about our band, Don't Fall In, is the fact that Michelle's kind of the leader of the band, and she writes the lyrics, she presents the song ideas, and we just contribute.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that more than anything. Now, you know what? At any point, if I ever get frustrated with this, I can go write my own music right now. And that's what I've done for the most part. Which
we're going to hear some in a little bit, right?
Yeah, I haven't even mentioned my band, The Beavers, which is really just me for the most part. I have had real human musicians in the band before, but that's always allowed me to do anything I want to do. Like, I don't have to run any ideas by anybody.
Right.
I don't have to sell anybody on any ideas. I just go and record that.
Let's do it, yeah.
So now, having that ability to do that, I feel that it makes me a better person in a band working with others, because that way, I can just I can present an idea and have it get shot down and go, okay, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like at first, it did when working with other musicians and writing, like, no, my
and also
idea's
when
better.
you're younger, I think, right?
Yeah.
I know when I was younger, like first working in the studio, how, like you just think, like, and then you realize, like music has no rules. It has none of this.
Yep.
Like you're not gonna, there's no right.
Right.
Because I used to get like offended, like, no, I mix it like that. You know what I mean? Like you're easily offended, I feel like. But as you mature and grow, you have to.
And I've also discovered the less I try to make things happen. Like I was recording a friend of mine once, and he had this idea that a guitar part he wanted to play in the middle of a song. And my initial thought was, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I don't even think that's in the key that the song is in. And but for the first time ever, I just bit my tongue and I didn't say anything. And he did it, and we listened back to it, and he goes, "Oh, that's horrible." And I'm like, and that's when I started noticing, like, hey, you know what? Trip, just shut up every now and then and don't
Yeah.
say something and let things happen.
Yeah.
And that's when I started discovering things seem to fall in place better. The less I try to
Less
make
you
things
try.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of my moral of the podcast here is
Yeah.
the less I try to make things happen, the less I try to.
Well, there's no stress. Like, I kind of know what you mean. Like, because there's a million things that I do. And I do make music, and I wish I would get to it, but I never do because I do so many events, and it's always just on the back burner. But it's like, I feel like when it's supposed to happen, like, the songs are there. I have so many that are so close, they just might need mixed. And I just am like, I'm not going to stress about it. Like, I'm not trying to be a famous rock star. So what happens.
Yeah.
And if you try too hard or stress it, then you're like, you act weird, like you're angry or this. It's like, just relax.
And just to be able to do this for a living right now. Yeah, I am retired.
Right.
And so, yeah.
That's awesome.
But, I mean, there was
It's awesome that you're in your good health, too, because we know our guy, Bongo Billy, a little younger than you, who's
Yeah.
going to be on a future podcast. Amazing guy. But, he's strong. So good job on keeping your health up.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of those years, it was like a big distraction having to go to work all the time. And, I wish I could just focus on music full time. And right now, I just have to say that I'm regarding music, I'm just so grateful for all these opportunities that none of them I planned.
Right.
The open mic, the band that I'm in,
and the
all
Philly
this.
scene. If you're in the Philly scene, I just feel like it just starts like I live so far away from Philly, so it's like a little different for me because I can't go to things like every other day. But it just starts. You go to one open mic and it just starts snowballing.
Yeah, it does.
And then everyone's following, and then it snowballs, and then you're here, and then next thing you know, you're doing a it's a great indie scene.
Yeah, no.
So I'm super proud of Philly and what the arts here in Philly are doing in this mad world that we live in.
Right.
Philly puts a little color in this black and white.
But
people don't like Philly, but
yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah, that you said it best. They don't know.
They don't know.
They have no idea.
Bad things happen.
Yeah, they hear a couple of sound bites on TV and oh my God, we threw snowballs at Santa.
I mean, Philly can be crazy in the aspect of, it is just cross the street. But even the people, like, there is a lot of guns and a lot of that chaos happening. But I feel like even those people, it's horrible, actually. I shouldn't even, it's horrible. Actually, I don't even know what I'm saying because I can't even relate. I don't even own a gun.
Well,
But I feel like there's still, I don't know.
Let me just say this. I lived in Greensboro, North Carolina. I lived in an apartment complex, and 2 buildings down was a couple, let's see, is a guy and his girlfriend, who are actually, I think, second cousins. And he murdered the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company heirs, and then he murdered the wife's ex-husband, and then the FBI came in and closed in on him in my apartment complex one day, and they had a big shootout, and their Jeep ended up blowing up and killed them and their children. So, stuff like that can happen anywhere.
It does happen everywhere. Like, I live up in the burbs, and believe me, it's happening.
Yeah.
All right, so you covered a lot. Is there anything else? So you do the Cosmic Cafe, seasonal. Do you have any music out there or anything where people can check you out?
I have a Reverb Nation site, Reverb Nation, Trip Boyd, TRIPBOYD, and it's the same thing on YouTube, Trip Boyd, TRIPBOYD.
Is that your real name, Trip?
I'm the third. Trip is short for triple. My real name is James, the same name as my father and grandfather.
Oh, okay. So Trip isn't the first name of 3 people.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I was like, wow.
Granddad was senior, dad was junior, and I'm Trip because I'm the third.
Okay.
So it's an official nickname. I've always gone by Trip. But yeah, so I have music out there on Reverb Nation and on mostly I'm putting everything on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
It's a lot more accessible. And I also over the years have started making videos for pretty much any song that I've written in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years I've made videos for.
That's the great thing about a lot of podcasts that comes up. That's the great thing about technology is we do have access to just be artists and not have to sign a major thing and sell our souls, you know?
Right. And, it's an opportunity to be creative and stuff
just
like that.
Express yourself. Like this song that they're not going to hear in the
That's
background that's
true.
playing, Madonna. All right, so I have one more question. This is going to be my question that I ask everyone in this podcast. How is music your hero?
How is music my hero? I don't know.
If it is, maybe it's not.
No, it kind of is. It sustains me. I can't actually. I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't doing something with music.
Yeah, so like right now you're retired, you're doing this open mic, you're traveling around doing open mic, so what would you be doing?
I suppose maybe I could go do some volunteer work, but I mean, music gives me a purpose in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? There's a lot of musicians. I'm not trying to put myself down or anything, but there's a lot of really, really good musicians out there who are a lot better than I am. They're better players, they're better songwriters and all that. But music still gives me an opportunity to
express yourself.
To express myself and do stuff. I mean, I wish I could be more eloquent with this, but
no, that's good. I think that makes sense. Gives you a purpose. You can express yourself. Something to do. I mean, sounds like you've been doing it since high school. So.
And in addition, all the people that I've gotten to meet. Like, I wouldn't know
artist.
you if it wasn't for the open mics. I wouldn't know Alan. We
wouldn't know
Michelle,
anybody. We wouldn't be here.
Or anybody that
I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, anybody else that I mentioned. And you know what? I've always loved hanging around really weird, crazy, eccentric people.
Yeah,
which is
artists.
exactly what musicians and artists are.
Yeah. They think outside the box.
Yes.
And they hopefully don't judge. I mean, some do. But if you're a real artist, you shouldn't, I feel like, you accept and...
I know a few normal people, too. But... they're not nearly as exciting. And I mean, music it's really just been a staple of my life.
Yeah.
Especially, from the pandemic on.
Yeah.
And until the end of times.
There you go. All right, so I think we're done. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
All right.
I am going to get some of Trip performing a little bit later to release with this, and I'm excited to hear that. So thank you. And Cosmic Cafe on Kelly Drive is a spot to be at during the seasons that it is warm every Friday for Trip's Open Mic.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
All right.
Until next time, keep creating, keep connecting, and keep building together. Remember, we're in this together, so let's keep each other's shine alive.